I'm going to compare the Zhiyun X100 against the Colbor W100. They're fairly similar lights that many people might be confused on which one will be the best fit for them, so I thought I'd break it down here. This is not sponsored. I'm making this video just because I want to. However, I do have dedicated reviews on both of these, so you should definitely check that out after watching this video. Now, what I'll be comparing is the base model version of the Zhiyun X100. There's the combo and pro kit. I technically have the combo kit, just so you're aware, but I will be comparing it as if it's the base model. With that out of the way, let's start with what do you get when you purchase either of these lights. Starting with the X100, of course, you get the light, you get a mini reflector, you get power cables, you get like a little mesh bag to hold the power cables. I don't believe you get a case with this light. If I'm wrong, then maybe there's a case, and it is a really nice case. Moving on to the Colbor W100, when you buy this, you will get the light, DC power cables, a mini reflector, a silicone diffuser. Everything comes inside of a box with foam, and there is no case. So let's talk about the features that both these lights have to offer, starting with the Zhiyun X100. This is a bicolor light with a range of 2700 to 6500 Kelvin. It's dimmable from 0 to 100%. You can control the light from the light unit or via Bluetooth. This light has music mode where the microphone on the light will pick up sound and respond to it. Additionally, the light also has live mode, which you can change from within the light. There are 2 quarter 20 mounts on the bottom of the light for mounting, 4 camera strap mounts around the light, and you can power the light via USB-C or DC power. Moving on to the features of the Colbor W100. This is a bicolor light. It has a range of 2700 to 6500 Kelvin. It's dimmable from 0 to 100% power. There are 3 quarter 20 mounts on the light, 2 camera strap mounts. You can power the light via USB-C or DC power. To control the light, you can do that from the back of the light or via Bluetooth. A neat thing that this light has that I've not seen on a light before is NFC technology. The ability to hold your phone up to the light to connect it via the app. Basically, a quick way to get it set up inside of the app and start using it. This light also has 10 special effects, which are only accessible and controlled from within the app. Now I want to show you these in action, so I put together a little something to show them off and also talk about the sponsor of this portion of the video, Soundstripe. You're gonna really enjoy this. Once again, so we're clear. Targets acquired at 0300 hours. Bob, you are going to be on getaway at the bay doors. Please be ready to load. And Jay, you're going to be in charge of tech. You need to be over here in your cubicle ready to go so that you can release the bay doors at 0315 so that Bob can start loading. Is there any questions? I got a question? Yes, Bob. So, like, what about heist music? Our focus is the mission. It isn't heist music. Well, you know, Skittles and I, we would be more focused and in the zone for this mission if there was heist music. Bob, all you gotta do is focus on being at the bay doors and ready to load. That is it. Actually, fellow filmmaker was just talking about this. We can use the Soundstripe AI search tool. Look, heist music. We can just start putting together a playlist right now. Oh, yeah. Jay, come on, don't encourage him. Yes. Look, we need to focus on the heist plan, all right? Take a look at these plans. These are super affordable. You should get the pro plan. Oh yeah, we're getting the pro plan. Hey, they even have an app. We can listen while we're on the run. Well, I guess we have heist music. All right, load up. Now let's talk about the really important issues. Let's talk about heat, fan noise, and hot swapping. Starting with heat, Zhiyun is a bit warmer if you put your hand in front of it, but also if you touch the heat sink, so don't touch that with bare hands. This one's actually fine. It feels like you can touch it. They both have been on for quite a while, so their fans are running pretty much at their max. Colbor's is definitely louder. I'll let you listen here right now. And then this is Zhiyun going to affect it, so let me turn this one off. You can't even hear it, like totally silent. So if you want this light to be quiet, your best option is quiet mode. Which at that point, it's much more usable. I wouldn't say the fans are an issue. I've had the Colbor in quiet mode for about, I think, 30 minutes now. It hasn't changed the fan speed. As far as heat is concerned, it's still pretty decent. It got a little bit warmer at the front, but that would be expected, of course, since it's not blowing the fans as hard. Now, when it comes to hot swapping, there's a bit to cover here. Basically, the X100 is safe for hot swapping. That means you can plug in the USB-C and the DC at the same time in order to switch them out. On the Colbor W100, it is not safe for hot swapping, so do not plug two power delivery methods in at the same time. What will happen is you will short the internal components and the light will be completely useless and broken. If you want to learn more about that, I did cover it more in-depthly in my dedicated review on the Colbor light. When it comes to running these both off of USB-C, you might run into some issues. If your cable or power delivery method, whether that's a battery bank or battery station, does not have the right voltage or wattage to supply to the lights, it will not run at 100% power. For instance, a cable that I had was only rated for 65 watts. Here on the Zhiyun light, it does display that on the back of the screen, telling you that you're limited. It will not allow you to go past a certain power setting. Whereas on the Colbor light, it does not tell you on the back of the screen if it has the limitation. And if you try to raise the brightness of the light, it'll just turn off suddenly, which means you've hit the limit of whatever cable or power delivery method you're using. This issue is only, of course, with USB-C, so it's just a matter of having the right cable that works for either of these lights. Before we get to light readings, I want to point out that the Zhiyun does have a bit of hot spotting with the included mini reflector compared to the Colbor. So this does affect the light readings. Now I'd like to talk about some of the pros, cons, likes, dislikes that I have with both of these to give you a better overall idea of what they have to offer. Pros and cons of the Colbor light is that it is a cheap light, so it's quite affordable. It does have that third quarter 20 mount on the side, so if you wanted to mount something to the light or just be able to mount it up in interesting ways, then it offers that. Because it's made out of plastic, it is more lightweight. It's about 40 grams lighter than the Zhiyun X100. It is pretty nice that at this price point you are also getting this piece of diffusion. Even though it's not the best I've ever used, it still is helpful to turn it from a bit of a hard light source into a bit of a softer light source. Additionally, I think it's great. It does have control over the fan, so that if you're in a situation where you need to control that, then that's super useful. When it comes to cons, while it's not many, they're pretty big ones. One of them being build quality. This is all plastic. It's not very high quality. Many people might be concerned about its durability if it were to ever be dropped or used a lot over time. Now, I did cover this extensively inside of my dedicated review, so go ahead and check that out to learn more about that. But in short, it being plastic is not really all that great. Additionally, I think it's a pretty big con that the ports at the bottom are not protected or covered. So that means they could get damaged, or dust or dirt or anything could get stuck inside of these ports. Another pro, of course, is that it's a small form factor, can slip into your bag really easily. Now, as far as my final thoughts, I'll share those in just a second. But as far as the pros and cons of the Zhiyun X100, obviously a big pro is that the build quality is significantly better. It's made out of aluminum parts and pieces, high quality plastic, not the cheap lightweight stuff. All the knobs are really secure, and not to mention there are some nice features packed in. You've got the microphone for music mode, but specifically I think live mode is one of its best features. I use live mode a lot, so for me this is a really great thing to have. Additionally, the tech in this one is obviously safer. You can do hot swapping. It has a cover for the port so no dust or dirt will get inside. Obviously with a higher quality build design, it is safer, so if you were to drop it, it's more likely to probably survive. Additionally, it's pretty great that this light is overall a bit brighter than the Colbor, but as you can see here in these examples of using it outside, the Zhiyun X100 was certainly doing a lot better to just at least get some exposure on the subject in an outdoor bright lighting scenario. So let's boil this down. Which one is best for the average creator? I would have to say that it goes to the X100. I like that the safety features are in there with the hot swapping, the port covers. You get some more features out of it with the live mode, music mode, but overall the build quality makes me feel like this is a better investment. While it does cost more money than the Colbor, I do think you're going to get more for your money with this light. Now, that is not to say that you cannot do great things with this Colbor light. I still think it's a useful light to have. I think it's for the creator that's probably solo most of the time and just needs an affordable, cheap option with them. It's because I wouldn't trust having this light where someone else might grab it, plug two things in or get a bunch of dust and dirt up inside those ports. I would say I would rather go with the X100 if I'm going to work with other people, because if they grab it, drop it for some reason, it'll probably survive. The ports are protected and they will not risk shorting the entire unit and wasting all of my money. So for me, I see the X100 being a better investment in that way. So like I said, check out my dedicated reviews, watch them. If you do have any questions about these lights, put them down in the comments. I hope this video is really helpful for you, and I will see you in the next video.